All right, today is Thursday around 11:30 a.m., April 9th, and continuing this journey of what is becoming like a Carole King type of singer-songwriter album. A lot of female voices on this that I'm hearing in my head the last few days, especially last night. I pretty much have the album done now. I kept getting little hints, little nudges in my head of a song idea, and that occurred yesterday and continue today. There's two songs I still have to kind of write lyrics for, but I won't worry about that till later. But yeah, I'm going through a lot of the influences on this album, and it's very feminine. It's the song today is called Talons, like an eagle's talons, and it's a waltz. Waltzes are usually my favorite time signature song, whether it's country or soul or gospel. I just like that swaying feeling. Even like rock and roll or punk rock, I just like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I shared a couple songs. I'm going to share on my Substack when I post this. It's led by the Nina Simone type of voice, and it's still like a Carole King type of sentiment. I also listed Brandy Carlisle because she started popping up in my head when I was doing the song yesterday. The song yesterday, The Ruse, I kind of like hours later after I posted it on Substack, I was thinking of Brandy Carlisle, The Joke, because that one is such a great song. I think she won like Best Song of the Year for that. And maybe that one was kind of subconsciously leading me to that one, The Ruse, that I shared yesterday. But I don't know. There's a lot of different influences spiraling around, which is how I like it to be. Today, I said the song's called Talons. It's number 4. And I'm pretty sure this album, which I renamed yesterday, I didn't like aggravated empires because it sounded like some medical disease on a pharmaceutical commercial. So I had another album cover already designed from a couple days ago, and I called it Some Jump from Planes. Some Jump from Planes. That's a cool name for like a band, I think. Like an indie band. I think that's a pretty good name. Some Jump from Planes. I had a long therapy session with myself, which I do sometimes just to vent some things. And I was like, the reason people jump from planes is the same reason, some people do drugs or people or gamble. They're trying to find a high or some addicting to make them feel alive. But I think with the jumping from planes, it's more of like there's still a 1% chance, or maybe less than that, that the parachute might not go, so you might die. So the closer you get to death, like the more alive you feel sometimes. It's strange how that human psychology works. The closer you get to death, it's almost like the more free you feel. You don't have your bills to worry about. You don't have your family bullshit. You don't have your friend bullshit. You don't have your work bullshit. All that shit that muddles your mind and keeps you from just experiencing life naturally. All the stupid financial shit, all the foreign conflicts that, just continue and continue. All that shit disappears when your own life is about to go anyway. So there is a freeing sentimentality to death. I think that's why I'm just guessing as as a dime store psychologist, is that what they would call it? That the reason people look for that thrill, whether it's jumping from a plane or something else, that might not seem like a normal thing to do. If you told people 200 years ago, yeah, pretty soon people are going to be flying in the air and jumping out of planes with these parachutes, they're like, what the fuck are you people talking about? So yeah, it's pretty cool. to think about how the human brain works like that. That's why people gamble. I went through like a 2 hour therapy session 2 days ago, like I said, and it was about that very thing because I used to gamble and I like playing poker mostly, but roulette and stuff. And I talked about this before and in my book. And it's mostly because you want to have that thrill, like you're in control of yourself. You're in control. The money's not in control of you. You have control over what happens in your life through the chaos of gambling. It's a weird type of psychological thing. I wrote in one of my posts maybe a day or two ago, a couple of years ago, I used to beat the shit out of myself. I used to punch my face until I was all bruised up, like really badly. And I probably did it maybe 3 times, like really bad. It took a couple of weeks to look like a normal person again. And I used to like bang my head against the wall like very violently just to kind of clear the cobwebs, or when I was feeling really just frustrated with shit. The reason people do that, because it's not something that I'm not the only person that ever did shit like that to hurt themselves. People cut themselves, people do drugs. They know it's going to fuck them up, but they do it anyway because they want to control the pain. They don't want other people controlling their own pain. They want to be in control of something. If they're going to feel shitty and in pain, then they're going to do it themselves. Like, I feel like that's what a psychologist would have told me if I told somebody that I used to beat the shit out of my face for, a few years ago when I was going through some shit. It just felt good to feel like you're in control of something, at least, because I'm still at that point where I don't feel like I have no income, I have no financial security, I have no private property to call my own. I got nothing that I own, so I'm in a constant state of that frustration. But this song plays into that, because if somebody put a gun to my head right now, or if I'm jumping from a plane and the parachute, that's a better metaphor, I guess, or symbol, whatever you want to call it. If I jump out of a plane and the parachute is not completely deployed and it's like struggling, and there's like, oh shit, I gotta get this thing open or I'm gonna die. Like, all of these thoughts about, oh, I can't sell my songs, whatever other problems and bullshit that occurs in my daily life, all that shit disappears when death is like so close to you. So it's weird. I said before, and I guess this will be my spoken statement. I never would want to have like a funeral in a church with all that drama and fake bullshit. There's no way I would ever want a funeral like that. I think those things are so fake. I'm not saying all of it is, but a lot of it is. For myself, I would just want to get either burnt on like a raft, just put my body on a raft and float me out to sea. I think I said this before. And just shoot arrows at me on fire and just send me off like a Viking funeral. I'm pretty sure I spoke this before in another post, Thoughts at a Funeral. That's where that idea came from. So, yeah, these are a lot of the themes that this song is dealing with. Somehow, or not just this song, but maybe even a few of the other songs, because I do have a song called Some Jump from Planes. I did make a song. I wrote a song yesterday called that, so it's also a song. It's not just the name of the album. Because, yeah, yesterday I was getting kind of manic I kept thinking of new songs, but I think I'm going to keep this to 8, because that's what I have right now. And I would speak about this more in the next post, I think. I made a note to talk about this. I kind of consider myself a hit and run artist. Like, what do I mean by that? I just want to get the songs, the blueprints out as quickly as possible and then move on to something else. I don't want to linger on a word or a melody or a note. Like, all that stuff could be figured out later, but I'm not that type of person. I just want to move on to something else, move on to something else. It's good and bad. I'm sure if I was going into some kind of a studio or doing it myself to record these songs with other people, yeah, it's going to be a much longer process. And some of these songs might not work. You might have to come up with new stuff. You never know what's going to happen. But I like to think of when I'm going through a concept album and I come up with the songs very quickly, like even this one. All these songs are, I think I started this week, so it's pretty quick to write 8 songs and in a style that I'm not familiar with, which is this one's kind of an odd outlier with all my concept albums, especially because I hear all these female voices. And later, in my Substack post, I'll share a couple of my favorite waltzes. There's a Nina Simone song. I found another Carole King song, Brandy Carlisle, and there's a Bright Eyes song that I'll share as well. So there is one male voice on this. Just reminded me of the spirit and time signature and atmosphere I'm trying to create with the songs I'll share later. But to be honest, I had to Google it, Google what are some Nina Simone waltzes, and then I was listening to which ones kind of fit the mood of it. Because I don't have a knowledge like that, like a Radiohead that can pinpoint a Nina Simone waltz. Or I said I'm not that familiar with Carole King either. Brandy Carlisle, I've kind of been a fan of hers since I was in my 20s when The Story came out. So I was a little bit more familiar with her stuff, but I didn't listen to her newer ones, so I got to kind of go back and listen to those. But let me get to the song now before I ramble for too long. So I would say please try to picture the Nina Simone type of feel, because I'm not going to try to reproduce that. I'm just going to sing it in my own way. But that's the voice I hear. That Nina Simone, really passionate, just her voice has a unique type of force and strength to it. And yeah, that's the type of song this is trying to be, at least. And I think it's a good symbol of the talons, talons coming down and gripping you. I don't know, for some reason I just had that word in my head, so I was like, let me write a song called that. So hopefully it works. Talons hit the mark, desire with patient blood set fire to tame the torch, all quiet on every front. And you could either pause there, and I'm thinking I go right into the next verse though, actually. All quiet on every front. Verse 2. Talons reclaim the start like Diane. Without the cost, reach higher to signal home or posit. What vein to coerce? And you go into kind of a interesting chorus that, I don't know, reminded me, I'm picturing the piano, so I guess I still have Nina Simone on the brain. But the chorus is kind of whimsical. Must be the devil at your door. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Lose and abandon, or search and destroy. All life deserves to shine. Dun, 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 dun. So I would go into some kind of horn thing here. Not as corny as I'm making it sound. But this is why I wanted to include the Bright Eyes song, False Advertising, because that's one of the best waltzes I could think of. And I was thinking of the melody when I finished that line. All life deserves to shine. Dun, dun, dun. There's a part in that Bright Eyes song that reminded me of how the strings could go, because it's really, really cool. I like how they produced that whole album. The Story, whatever it was called, The Story Lifted, that one. That was the first one, my introduction to the Bright Eyes type of style. But they also go all over the place. So you would probably do an instrumental after that first chorus and then go into the next verse, the last verse. Talons grip the heart, misguided through militant skies, delivered by the winter sun. I sang that wrong, sorry. No, I was right. I don't know what I'm thinking of. Alright, let me try that again. Talons grip the heart, misguided through militant skies, delivered by the winter sun and the song of a song. I wanted to mix it up. That's why I lost my focus. I wanted it to be like the Nina Simone type of passion as you finish the last verse, the third verse. So you would sing it a little bit differently than delivered by the winter sun and the song of a song. You would get more passionate. Delivered by the winter sun and the song of a song. Something like that. Somebody who can actually hit those notes. Then you go right back to the chorus. Must be the devil at your door. Dun, 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 dun. Lose and abandon or search and destroy. Dun, 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 dun. All life deserves to shine. And then you would just have a classic type of soul Motown ending, the outro. So let me try to repeat that. All life deserves to shine. Ah, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And then just go into an ending instrumental. I think that would be the best way to end it. And if the vocalist would want to add some improv there, that's probably could work as well. But I think there's enough words in this song to get the general message, if I do have any. Just everything I was talking about in the beginning of this. You kind of don't feel like you're in control and someone's coming. You feel like someone or something, some force is trying to block you, that I feel a lot, or come and snatch you up. That's kind of what the symbolism is, I guess. So that's basically the blueprint. I think that's enough to really lead somewhere. Like, yeah, in reality, it's like the entire song. Just when it comes to the instrumental parts, yeah, I can't really go into detail about what the horn would play or what the strings would sound like. Because right now, I think I said I wanted strings on almost every song, so it's that type of 70s. Um, well, there's some singer-songwriter that are just basic piano or guitar, I guess. It doesn't have to have strings in it, but I don't know. Now I'm thinking Todd Rundgren. I don't know his stuff. I don't even want to mention his name because I've never listened to any of his songs, but I feel like he's included in that 70s orchestration songwriter type of thing. A lot of people hold him in high regards like that. I think this is a weird aside. I think he did Todd Rundgren produce a Bad Religion album? Todd Rundgren produce, help me Google, produce a Bad Religion album. I think he did. Process of okay, well, sadly, it's the one that a lot of people hate on, the New America. But I don't really know it enough, to be honest. I don't like the album cover. I think it's kind of corny. Even though Bad Religion's like my favorite band, I got to be able to criticize what I don't like. Yeah, I don't really like their album cover. It's kind of dumb. But I would have to listen to that again. That's the early 2000s. It was released on May 9th, 2000. So I would have to listen to it again because I feel like I've only listened to it once, and that's not fair to judge it. But yeah, Todd Rundgren actually produced a Bad Religion album. That's why I was kind of maybe thinking of him for some reason. And I don't want to shit on that album. I watched a lot of ranking videos, and people put that kind of low with like the science fiction one. But I really don't know it enough to judge it. I would have to listen to it again. I'm planning to do that. At some point, I want to rank all the Bad Religion albums. There's at least 4 or 5 that are like perfect. The Gray Race, Stranger Than Fiction, Recipe for Hate, Empire Strikes First. I think those are all perfect. Maybe there's a couple more. Suffer, maybe. But yeah, I would have to go through all the Bad Religion stuff because they probably have like 15 albums or so, or more than that now. But all right, let me get back to this song before I really just speak out of my asshole. But yeah, the last thing I'll end on with this, I'm over 20 minutes, so I feel like I've spoken enough about this idea. I really do enjoy waltzes. I said earlier, it's just something natural. It matches my body rhythm whenever I hear 1 2 3 4 5 6 or 1 2 3 1 2 3, and that's why the Bright Eye song instantly came in my head when I was writing this. And yeah, it made me think of weird stuff like collaborations. Like, what if Nina Simone was still around and she was like collaborating with Conor Oberst or someone? That would be pretty wild. Or yesterday I thought of Carole King's song with like Slash in it. Just like weird, because they're both like crazy professional musicians, songwriters. It would be cool to put people like that together and see what they could come up with. It's almost like make a reality show like that. Get a bunch of musicians together and pair them up randomly, and they can be from the 70s, 80s, whatever, it doesn't matter. And there would be some kind of competition to see who could write the best songs or something. There was an idea like that in the early 2000s where a bunch of indie bands were on a competition show and they had to write songs on the spot and and they competed against each other. But I think it would be cool to get musicians together that you wouldn't think would blend, like the Snoop Dogg, not that they made music together, but Snoop and Martha Stewart and stuff like that. But that's the general feelings of this song, I guess. Um, I could take an hour or two and look up some of my other favorite waltz songs, but I don't feel like doing that right now. I just know it when I'll start making a list on. So whenever I do come across a waltz that connects with me, even that song years ago, Strawberry Wine. What's that guy's name? I think he won maybe a Grammy for that. You're as sweet. Do like stuff like that. It's bluesy, but it's still the 1 2 3, 1 2 3. What's that guy's name? Strawberry Wine. That was a big song. I remember that being on the radio like all the time. Strawberry Wine. Yeah, but who sang it? Yeah, I forget what the gentleman's name is. Because I don't even know if he wrote it. It might be just like a classic song. I'm going to be pissed off if I don't give this credit, so let me pause this real quick. Yeah, it's the You're as Sweet as Tennessee Whiskey. That's the song I'm thinking of. Tennessee Whiskey. Chris Stapleton, yeah, I couldn't think of his name. I think he had a band called like the Steel Drivers or something. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it was written by Dean Dillon and Linda Hardgrove. See, I feel like I have to give the songwriters credit since that's what I'm trying to be. And I won't, I never used to think of it like, I would have just thought years ago that he would have wrote it. I wouldn't have thought that there's people in the background writing the songs like that. But yeah, that's a really good song. Originally recorded by David Allan Coe in 1981. But it was written by Dean Dillon and Linda Hargrove and was first covered by George Jones in 1983. I don't know. This is according to Google. But yeah, that's a really good waltz. That's a waltz, right? Do, 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 1 2 3, 1 2 3. So I'll share that song too since it just popped in my head for some reason. But yeah, I just remember at least once an hour I would hear that song for at least a couple months, man. And I don't know, usually that would piss me off, but that one just put me in a good mood. It's just really comforting and warm. And I guess I'll end on that note. I don't know if that's partially the atmosphere I'm going for with this one, but when I hear like a Nina Simone thing, it's like it's more of a spiritual, like she's summoning some crazy, I don't know, powerful spirit within her. Like I don't know, I didn't know about her until everyone else started jumping on that bandwagon. I found one of her records at an estate sale, the "You Put a Spell on Me" one, and that kind of led me to go into her stuff. And then the first song that really blew me away was the Sinner Man. Sinner Man, that song's just an all time. So yeah, that's the main influence on this is the Nina Simone style. I tried to sing it thinking of how she would kind of approach something like this, which is problematic because I can't sing like that. But I'm just trying to give an idea of what it could be for somebody with a similar voice like that. And I'll continue this later. I might do another song today since I'm kind of in a good groove and I already have another one written, the next song. Actually, the next song is a weird one. I have the next two songs written, so I might do another one today or just do the next two and then just worry about the last two tomorrow if I can write the lyrics for them. And I'll just take it from there and see how it goes. I don't want to force these out, but I feel like it's coming at a good pace where that sounded bad. They're developing at a good natural pace that I feel pretty happy with it. Like, because I'm trying to really conjure these voices in my head. So it's more a little bit more complicated because it's not a style that I'm really used to. Like I said, in every recording so far. But I'll leave it there, and I'll try to make another recording later of song 5.